What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We're live to both right now with a very large open chat. I wanted to hear the common man's opinion, the common duelist's opinion about this ban list and have an in-depth discussion, because it's not just about the cards that were hit, it's a lot about on this list what wasn't hit, because we have a format that I think is actually going to evolve to be very similar to how it was, with a lot of changes to how it works. What it was before, I was calling unhealthy diversity, and I think this list makes a lot of changes to make that diversity more healthy in a sense, but it is going to be a lot of the same as before. You're going to see Sky Strikers still at the power level they were. Gokis are going to adapt with a new Neos card that's really going to get them to Isolde. You're going to have Rongo Bongo Turbo everywhere, and Six Samurais might do that best now. We'll have to wait and see. And then you have Trickstars floating at the power they were, Altergeist, all these decks, a lot of control decks are going to be in the background. Thunder Dragons, anybody, mixing itself levels between Rogue and Meta throughout the past couple YCSs. We'll see if it keeps declining. But chat, welcome. How are you guys?
Good. Pretty good.
All good, all good.
All right, so let's start with the first glaring image in this room. Firewall to 0.
The wicked
I'm done.
Okay, so basically, we're already hearing chants in the community, free my Firewall. I'm so happy it's gone. I don't care about anime plot armor. I don't care that, you know, whatever it had going for it. Loops are unhealthy for the game. Okay, let's start with this. Well, out of all these people that were just talking, is anybody going to defend Firewall in here and say that it should have stayed?
Absolutely not. Never, no.
Nope.
They should have just made it.
And I would
Okay, everybody quiet. Anybody speak that will defend Firewall?
Well, to be honest, I have nothing to say to defend Firewall.
They should have just made him a special summon Cyber.
Everybody quiet, unless you will defend Firewall. And not just to play devil's advocate. Truly, this is your opinion. Anybody. That's what I was hoping for. All right. So let's talk about what's missing to this number 0 real quick. So to move forward just a little bit, Gumblar is still at large. How do you all feel about that? One at a time.
sad.
Anime plot armor.
No, not again.
Yeah. See, with Gumblar, the hand loop with Gumblar is a little bit like difficult to do. However, it is also difficult to get him out. See, you have to give up a lot of resources. Now, decks do actually get out a lot of things that they just shed it on the board and they boom, Gumblar first turn. But
all right, there's first off family-friendly content. Second off, there's plenty of decks that get the resources there even without Firewall. There's multiple decks that can do it.
I will make the argument. I will make the argument with Gumblar that even Element Saber can just come out and just go, oh, Moulin Glacial Gumblar for 4 straight away, no problem. And nearly 4,000 attack on each because of the stupid ass field spell they've got.
Like,
Gumblar should be gone.
One thing I will say about Gumblar is that it's all dependent about how much you invest versus how much you get in return, or to be more accurate, how much your opponent loses in return.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. If you can afford to make it and then mess with your opponent, then it's perfectly fine for you, not your opponent though.
Yeah. If all you can do is Gumblar for 4 on your turn, your opponent still starts their next turn with, you know, 2 cards in their hand. And so
that's not fair for the game. But there's the thing, you have to be able to consistently pull it off, and for it to be, you know, good.
I think multiple decks can get the resources for Rongo. Multiple decks are gonna be able to get the resources to be able to go Gumblar. Like it's not gonna be anywhere that's
infinite permanence. Anyone?
But that only means there's just gonna be Gumblar Turbo.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
What up?
Before. I think there's also something else that should have also been hit on the list.
Okay,
what's that?
I think all those like tribute, not once per turn tribute to burn cards should have just gone with Firewall.
Okay,
They're just
they
gonna-
were not a problem before Firewall, and the only thing they work in tandem with are typically loops or decks that have enough resource game to get to that loop, such as Infernity Cannon Soldier. Oh no, which also had weird Firewall. You had ABC looping with Firewall, and so literally never was Cannon Soldier a problem in the meta history. Mass Driver was, as a card that could just be played in the back row and not have to ever be summoned. But overall, like, I definitely think that none of these cards were ever a metagame problem, and they don't stop the, like, future of card building. They stop the future of loops, which should be checked in the first place.
Yeah.
That's a good way of going about it.
I agree.
That's my opinion. If you have a counter argument, I'm all ears.
I don't think.
Not really a counter argument, but more of even with Gumblar still around, you still have decks like Danger and Burning Abyss where they don't mind you ripping their hand apart because they'll just get effects in graveyard that either help them or hurt the opponent.
Yeah.
Specifically to your point, I have played Burning Abyss Danger against getting Gumblar, and every single time it went relatively well for me. So I can agree that being able to have your resources gain advantage when hit for all the resources they spent to build their board is good. And without Firewall, it's unlikely to see the nutty Tri-Gate board along with the Gumblar.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are hand traps to stop Gumblar, though.
But
I think the third glaring problem here is Rongo. Rongo, if you guys don't know who Rongo is, since that's come up multiple times in stream, I'm going to go ahead and put this list down and pull up good old number 86 for you guys. This is Rongo, the heroic champion, if you didn't know what we're talking about to this point.
All because of 6 M's. All because of 6 M's.
No, Goki's still going to
Bamboozle.
continue to make this, excuse
It's
me.
because of Bamboozle. Oop.
Yeah, Bamboozle makes this way more accessible. So, but like, it's still, the problem is you have a card that completely shuts down play, similar to how S0 was. So it's like they took care of S0 before, but they're not taking care of Rongo, who's made a huge insurgence into the game.
Okay. I don't see it as a problem until it tops consistently.
There were like how many Rongo decks? 1 second, there were how many Rongo decks at the European YCS?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty,
Did they have Summon Sork in them or not?
No, Europe could not play Summon Sork at that point either, so they did not have access, and they were
We actually don't have Summon Sork yet, so like we still have Rongo Bongo Turbo in some of our regionals at the moment, and it actually was a problem in some of the LLDS Stage 2 where the quarterfinalists or semi-finalists, there was 2 Sky Striker, 1 Rongo Bongo, 1 Altergeist, and the Sky Striker were blown out of the water by the 2 Alter decks.
Okay.
So
I
I
can't
have a
say.
question about the Rongo Turbo.
Okay.
So what cards in the Dark Warrior anything were hit on this ban list?
So the Dark
Everything.
Warrior had Malicious and Armageddon hit, but Armageddon is still searchable through Isolde, so it's like, it doesn't really matter the copies, because you can search it out through Isolde if you really want to play it. Malicious is the bigger hit. Putting it down to 2 is a huge consistency slam to the Dark Warrior deck, but the Dark Warrior deck is going to get a new tool. What's the name exactly of it's like Neos Connector?
Neospace
something like that.
Connector.
Neospace Connector.
We don't have an official name yet, you sillies.
Yeah, but this is what's coming. So when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon a Neospatial monster or an elemental hero Neos from your hand or deck in defense position. So you are getting Aqua Dolphin, going for the hand immediately, and then you have 2 warriors on board to up into Isolde.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You also get a rip out of the hand.
Yeah, that's the point. You're getting Aqua
It seems
Dolphin.
pretty fair. It seems
So,
pretty fair.
Neospace Connector into Isolde. Now your Armageddon Knight is once again searchable. And I guess you could play the Cherries or Ash Blossom for the Isolde instead of the Firewall at this point. But, like, then if you do that there, they can start their tree up towards another way to try to Gumblar you should they have the resource game to be able to do so. It's going to be a lot harder at this point, yes, but you still have a chance to do it.
I have a Rongo question.
Okay, another Rongo question. What's up?
Does Rongo, have to be hit directly, or is there something subsequently that we would be able to hit that would also fit?
You could hit Bamboozle and he's way harder, but I think Samurai might be able to still get their question mark, but it would be way harder for them too.
She and I both agree.
Okay, one at a time.
If I can take the floor for a second.
Go ahead.
Again, Rongo. And this is on the samurai might be able to get it even without bamboozle. They can. I've seen people get Rongo with enough materials without using that bamboozle card. I knew Rongo 6 Sam was there before I even knew bamboozle was a card.
So yeah, there's gonna be ways to make him in other decks, but the thing is that it makes it way easier is bamboozle, but like at the same time he'll still like shine his head, like just like kind of like S0 is like infinitely harder now. It's a non-issue. Its consistency is so slammed, but like Rongo is just it's as many level 4s as you can put out, so like you can achieve that in many different ways.
Question: what is a bamboozle? Sorry.
Bamboozle is number 75, Gossip Shadow. Its full name is Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, so he's bamboozling you.
He's basically in the game to draw a card.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take something from chat real quick. Sorry, but what happens to alternate art Firewall now that Firewall is Banlist jail? That would actually be, in my opinion, an amazing segue to giving him an errata to come back. But at the same time, a lot of people feel like errataing that card would ruin the originality. But like loops aren't. You don't want loops, so I think the best loop you could get at that point is trying to loop him with Mizuki in any deck. Like that would be the best Firewall loop left to the game, and that would be looping him to use his effect once, then using him as a link material, bringing him back with Mizuki, getting his both effects again, using him with Mizuki, but using both effects again. That's the best chance, and then he's hard limited, still to that 4 times, unless you got like a what's that card? Burial from a Different Dimension. So you're getting to ridiculous combo pieces in order to like actually achieve that. So I think it would be fine to hit him at a once per turn with the alter art, but if not, we've had ban cards. Actually, that's an amazing segue into Chaos Emperor Dragon being reprinted as a jump promo with clarifying new text that tells you how bad he sucks and not being off the ban list. How do you guys feel about that in open chat? One at a time.
Expected.
It's not out yet.
Yeah, it is. People have it in hand.
I will just say it's expected that it wasn't going to come off the ban list, because if it was going to come on the ban list, Europe would have got a print, and because Europe.
All it needs to do is clarify in the database, and Europe will have access.
It was updated in the database weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's in the database updated. So if it's off the list, Europe has access immediately.
And yet they didn't unban it.
So my thing here is a lot of people say this list feels rushed, but I think it was actually very concise and they had plenty of time to do it. I think they wanted to be minimalistic, and they've already set the no sooner than to January something. So it's like late January. So you have February and March to craft the list for the competitive season as usual, the WCQ season itself / WCQ. So I think we could easily see it there, and it's not like a siren red flag to me. But if it misses that list too, like prices are just gonna tank on it. That's gonna be a decent investment for the copy, but like at the same time, it's really ridiculous they printed a jump promo you can't play with when you pay for that subscription.
Go
ahead, Dr. TNT. What's up?
Yeah, if I can also bring up something else from the ban list.
Sure, go ahead.
Dark Destroyer the 3.
All right, we'll get to that in just a second. We're on the topic real quick. Anybody else on Chaos Imp?
I mean, Emperor Dragon, I feel, has lost a lot. It's lost pretty much all power it has. And honestly, it's staying on the ban list. I think honestly it's just because they're waiting for a giant mass printing, not just a Shonen Jump, but like a giant mass printing of, like, so that
Shonen Jump's a lot of copies. I think it's more than people realize.
Shonen Jump is a very large amount of copies.
I know one friend alone that got like over 400 of them. And I'm actually dissing it. By the way, controlling the market, I'm dissing a card a friend specifically got 400 of and saying that it's going to go down in price.
He couldn't even fit all of them in his... The mailman couldn't fit him in his mailbox.
Yeah, hilarious. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, to put it in everyone else's mailbox, too.
Oh, man.
I've actually got my own question for the open chat. Does anyone reckon that this ban list that we've just got here is nearly essentially an emergency ban list for YCS Milan?
No, a million percent no.
Just before Europe.
They've had so much time to actually create it. There's no way in hell it's emergency. If it was emergency, we would have seen it gone up before the no sooner than and been immediately effective on the no sooner than. Like they have had time, extra time to sit and consider and look and see the pleas and cries. In no way, shape, or form is this emergency, in my opinion. But you guys, go ahead. What do you guys think?
I mean, I have a conspiracy theory.
Go ahead, Mystic.
The thought process is that the reason we had a 10-day push, or wait, sorry, until the no sooner than, because there was a large percentile of Sky Striker decks, and they were looking at the push ahead for the OTS packs, and they were looking at, oh, we're also getting the Earth one printed. They're like, oh, well, we shouldn't touch that. However, they've had to probably consult the great power of Shueisha to go, can we finally kill this card, please? There is so much horror in the TCG. We cannot bear witness to this anymore. We cannot errata it. Only killing it will...
I think with Sky Strikers, its advantage engine is insane, but it's actually like the most like balanced back and forth Yu-Gi-Oh deck that exists.
Absolutely.
You don't die in one turn. You control... And I think there's a lot of elements to it that are truly interesting.
Weirdly enough, I enjoy playing against it.
Honestly, in the whole back and forth deal, the only thing that really does that in the metagame, honestly, is Sky Striker and Altergeist. Except Altergeist are way, way more focused on negating everything and taking control. So it's not really interactive, to say the least.
Yeah. I can make a little disagreement with you. Right there on the Altergeist point, I don't think Altergeist really want to interact. They want to set up their secret village, and they want to set up some floodgates along with their trap, and kind of just want to say, okay.
Floodgates still are interaction. You're just taking away the spell and trap destruction portion of the game that's been missing.
Yeah.
That's interaction.
Hey, John, I got my own conspiracy about the ban list.
What's up?
They release it on Friday, so you don't have to do bonus stream on Tuesday.
Oh!
I did promise a Banlist bonus stream, and it did end up on a stream day. Oh man, I'm lucky.
Nani?
If we hit over 300 a day, that unlocks Tuesday anyways.
That's your top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh conspiracies. You're number 7.
Number 6. They did it on the day they knew Simo was sick too. They were trying to get him out of the picture. They were trying to have as little Yu-Gi tuber influence on the smallest amount of cards ever. All right, let's go ahead and move. Dr. TNT, you wanted to talk about Dark Destroyer. What's up?
I mean, I know Cosmo hasn't been doing anything for who knows how long, but 3 Dark Destroyer, that might be.
It's scary, but how much of a difference do you think that makes then too?
A lot.
Okay, my thing is, I don't think it's an influence until we see more E-Tellies. Like, if we saw E-Telly at 3 with this, yeah, it's a deck.
Oh,
for sure.
It's
straight up.
Yeah, but...
That's what I was
Hell yeah. It only came back because an employee there really likes...
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm saying that's how it is.
I mean, it's a TCG original crafted card. It's Dark Destroyer, but the thing is like, the deck isn't that good. It is a good deck, a solid deck, cool, big, untargetable ships. Yay! In my opinion,
and they
it's
float.
not. We're in an age where Borreload Dragon exists.
Yeah.
That cannot be destroyed by him until it rams into him, which, to his credit, cannot be targeted by Borreload for that minus 500 on the extra copies. But while it exists on the field, Borreload goes, nom, get over here.
And
so, like,
yeah, but think about it on the Sky Striker side. They can't target it. That means that just will have a good matchup against Sky Striker.
Quote-unquote good matchup would also be Thunder Dragons, which stops them from searching.
Okay,
but,
yeah,
like,
true.
Yeah.
True. Agreed on that.
It
But
doesn't, however, stop them from summoning things from the deck.
I mean,
yeah.
like...
Sky Striker's surprisingly extra deck Link Climb way better than anybody gives them credit for.
Sky Strikers can link into Ningirsu, which does tend to remove the Cosmo ships fairly easily. If they need to, of course.
But how much do you have to invest to get that? I know you still maintain.
You don't have too much.
Not
Kagari
much,
into Hornet into any Ray. That's 3.
Literally
That
nothing.
means you have to use your Ray, you have to use a Kandar, you have to get the drones, you have to put more into that than you.
Yeah, but then you still have your back row clear for the rest of your activations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also Sky Strikers is super consistent because they can just keep looping their search spell.
Also, with Thunder Dragons, talking about them, you can just Titan just towers over him, and they can't be destroyed, and then it stops searchability for the deck too. Like if you attack over Eclipser, there's no searching. Like it's actually pretty insane.
Oh yeah.
Question for the guys in the chat right now. Do you all think that they're going to be playing stuff like Back to the Front in Cosmo if that's going to be a thing again?
I can see it.
So the big reason for actually like Back to the Front, Oasis of Dragon Souls was to help us avoid system down, but Back to the Front, the huge thing is the format was overall slower. Now you have cards that will immediately force it in Trickstars, and you endanger it just being swooped by a Borreload or something of the likes.
Called by the Grave.
Yeah, Called by the Grave also is at 3 right next to it on the list here.
Which is fantastic.
Well, change your mind on that real quick.
Actually, does Dark Destroyer banish itself as do the ships banish themselves as cost, or is that so would that dodge Called by the Grave, or if it's priority?
If it's in the banish pile, we're talking about bringing it back.
We're talking specifically like, I sent 3 Graves with Tin Can, and I'm trying to res one. They're gonna call Chain and get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. So going to Call by the Grave, a lot of pros didn't like this while Firewall was out, because like being able to loop and back yourself with one of these was absurd. So now that Firewall is gone, the card does feel a lot more back and forth. Like I take care of things. How do you guys feel about the power of Call by the Grave with Firewall gone?
I think it's perfect.
May I?
It should never have been limited. Or
it should have. Okay, my you're FTKing and you get to back it with a single card where your FTK took 1 card.
Yep.
Yeah, and you think it shouldn't have been limited in that format where it powers the FTK players?
It feels like the thing is about this FTK mess is now that it's gone, it's more fair. But honestly, FTKs in general are never really fair. Honestly,
no. Okay, there's a point where an FTK is fair. That's where it's inconsistent, and then you have hand traps. So your inconsistencies already bring it down. That like current Gem Knight FTK is fair.
Vintage Blue Eyes Exodia.
I mean,
Bone
Tower.
Till 0.
Here's my thing about Called by the Grave, and is that if like in FTK decks, it's insane because the FTK decks are all stopped by Droll, but they just have the out to Droll, so they don't get stopped, right? And so that's the inherent problem. But another thing is a lot of FTK decks won't risk running that because they want to have the higher chance of seeing a combo piece or a starter. And so it's like a risk versus reward because either you FTK them or you lose. So.
Okay, 1 second. A donation went over your voice, and it is Numa saying, read my fanfiction of MCOL40 Exakino in front of the stream. Well, maybe later after the round table here. A second point is that thought heavily distracts from my head is that oh god, I had a point and I just that actually wrecked me. That
wrecked my brain too. I got a brain hurting.
I hate you, Numa. I hate you so much.
Welcome to the stream, boys.
I'd like to make a comment about the ban list as a whole.
What's up?
I think with the exception of one card that should have been put off the ban list and put on limited status, which is Ancient Fairy Dragon, which we can have, everyone can discuss that later. I think this is almost the perfect ban list to encourage good deck building and more decks being played at tournaments as a whole.
Okay, I just like that because we already had the field spells are so powerful. If you've noticed, Konami's gone away from crafting field spells as powerful as they once were. Second off, to Bone Tower. Somebody mentioned Bone Tower. You can just play any card in your deck that gets like a discard effect, or make a hard counter in your side deck to getting Bone Towered, and then they actually have to play you. So I don't think Bone Tower is. Let me finish. I don't think Bone Tower is anything serious. The fact that you could just throw a Fairy Tale Snow in your deck, you could just throw what else can you
just throw Farfa.
Yeah, there's so many things you can actually just toss into your deck. But also the little, let me finish, the Penguin Knight dude that just flips your whole deck back into the graveyard.
You're welcome for that idea.
But yeah, my point being, No, the penguins actually comes from what's it called? They had this format that they made up where it's generation duels, and you had to put the penguin thing in so you didn't get decked out in everybody's side deck.
Wait, that reminds
For the
me,
exchange of
what's
the
that dog-
spirit FTK.
The dog thing called Marin, right? Every time it hits the grave, it goes straight
You
back
just
to
shuffle
death.
it.
Yeah, but that is still only going to give you one turn. Now, you want the Penguin Knight that flips your whole graveyard back into deck, or you want something that disrupts them, realistically. But let me finish. My point is, let me finish. My point is that the Bone Tower thing is completely devastated by any real side decking. Go ahead.
Penguin Knight. When it's sent directly from the deck to the graveyard by a card effect, by an effect of a card controlled by your opponent, unite your graveyard with your deck and shuffle them to form.
Did you hear that word, unite?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an MRL card. It's a real oldie.
I just love that card. Its text is so wonky that it's a tribute to how beautiful old Yu-Gi-Oh's text was. How wonky and beautiful.
Oh yeah, I'm totally well, instead of, I'm slimming down and not bulking up, totally roid raging. Yeah, totally.
That was for anyone who was asking and did not know what Penguin Knight was.
No, I put it up on the screen. So we got I guess the final card we haven't talked about in the room is A3. A should have never been hit in the first place. It is what it is.
Yep.
John.
Not much to say about
They
it.
could have panicked and just said when Firewall was there, they just went, oh no, A is still a 3, let's just get rid of it once so we don't cause A loops, but now the Firewall is gone, they're bringing it back, obviously.
Well,
Yeah,
A was never a problem. Without
No,
Firewall.
A was never the problem. A was never the problem.
If anything,
yeah, it
as
was
an
the
ABC player, I could see Buster going to 2 or 1 to try and curb the power of the deck because of how insanely strong Buster is.
The moment that
But
I saw the
at
ban
the
list, I
same
immediately
time-
built Danger ABC. So ABC D.
Shut up.
Oh, get out. Get out.
Yeah, sorry,
well,
can't.
the
Gotta get
thing
that
with-
13 to ban me.
Wait, who said that?
Oh
Jesus.
no.
I believe it was either Mystic V or no better
It was-
name.
It was Mystic V.
Mystic V.
Bye.
Oh god. Anyways, boys, I think we're gonna wrap up our thoughts pretty much there on the actual cards ban. Let's get to the misses. Tomahawk Tomahawk's not on here. Almost every single. Let me talk, boys. We gotta have some control in this conversation. John, let me finish. Also, John, I want to hear everybody's thoughts. Tomahawk was on almost every single person's prediction to be banned in any of my ban list discussions or streams. How do you guys feel about Tomahawk roaming around?
I mean,
I only have one
speak now,
thing to
or-
say about it. I personally kind of like Tomahawk. I think it's a neat card, but I definitely think hit in some way because spawning that many tokens, even if it doesn't cause a problem immediately, it will cause problems later. And I'm not saying if, I'm saying when.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, however, Tomahawk is an extra deck monster, which you can, generally speaking, run at 1 to 2 or 3. It's not like Grinder Golem, which is you can instantly just drop that and just go off. You have to, like, dedicate something to make that, A.
Okay, I hate the argument you have to dedicate because that's so easy in 2018 Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, yeah.
You fucking
There's
pop
no-
dangers out of your hand, man.
There's no the argument
Yeah,
of you
I
have
would say that-
to dedicate is not a point in 2018.
Yeah, dedication versus the resource games of 2018 is not a valid point in my book.
Giving
one case you
Tomahawk
could argue
one
that.
slot is nothing.
Also, I think. Okay.
Play
Actually,
3
the
Harpy
reason,
Channeler and 1
okay,
Harpy
the thing about restrictions, I would say Tomahawk is easier to achieve than the normal summon of Phantom Skyblaster because that normal summon costs so much more commitment than summoning Tomahawk in 2018 after
Yeah,
already
exactly
getting
what I
bodies on
think.
board.
Also,
I
the combos
I
that
agree with
involve
that.
Tomahawk
I
just
think-
really involve Firewall somewhere in between to go like Clifford and then like Firewall and then loop it.
Yep.
Now that Firewall's
Yes.
gone, I think this combo is just way weird. Like this, you can go Tomahawk in your opponent's turn, go like some Nightmares, pop his cards, but you can't do damage. Can't.
I like
Can't
that
really capitalize on
Gumblar,
it.
Tomahawk both.
Sorry, go on.
Soul
I
Charger not
think with
banned.
Tomahawk is that
So
I'd rather
danger.
see
Just Gumblars your hand or
Skyblaster
extra
go
links
before
you
Tomahawk
instead.
for sure.
XD.
Because like it's like more of a thing that you can do easier. I get it that you're like committing your normal summon to it, but I'd rather see that go instead of Tomahawk first.
Okay, we have a donation that says, I like the Gumblar, Tomahawk, BOTE, Soul Charge are not banned, so danger, it just Gumblars your hands, extra links you instead, XD. Dangers, their card creation and dangers, the future of actually the game's potential, because it stops the creation of, I get, like, effects in the graveyard decks, right? Like, they mix too well with those kinds of decks and create too much potential advantage for them.
Phoenix was talking about that in a video. It was really well thought out.
Yeah, it definitely, like, curbs the ceiling of potential card creation in the future until they're taken care of. Also, Netherlord, check your Discord for me later.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thing is, how are you really supposed to, like, stop dangers from limiting card creation, though, unless you, like, hit every single one of them?
You Dragon Roller them.
You just hit the really good ones and then let the not so good ones shine, and then you hit the not so good ones after a while. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh!
Flip Mind Drain, win.
There you go. Flip Mind Drain, lose faster.
Dangers, I think I said this once when I first saw Dangers, actually. Dangers are an extremely neat idea that can so easily break this game that I don't like.
Yeah. Dangers are just a ticking time bomb waiting to go off.
Are they so fun it's terrifying?
I don't know. There's definitely an RNG aspect, but not everybody enjoys RNG in card games.
I got another conspiracy theory for you guys.
Oh, it's fun?
Konami realized that Calvin Taham wasn't coming to tournaments, so they did Firewall ban to bring back a Soul Core, so they get Calvin Taham.
We need a face to this company.
All right, everybody, put your tinfoil hats on.
All right. Let me give a quick rundown of cards everyone was like crying for. Shuret and Construct and the Book of Moon because it's at 1, and which shouldn't be. What else are like the cry for cards here that the OCG like gets that we don't?
Like Jillian.
I'm pretty sure there were people crying for Stratos.
Bryonic and Unicorn and Maxi.
Maxi.
Oh,
no. Maxi's still a really big split, so that can go back and forth to anyone.
Do I think Goldsark will get in the head in the future for Thunder Dragons? Well, first off, they got Tempest back, which works pretty well with Goldsark. And second off, our Thunder Dragons aren't performing well enough to need to be hit yet.
Yeah.
He also said in the future, John.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need to perform, though. They have to take center stage and get more than 2 to 3 tops per event.
But if they do you think...
Yeah, if they start taking 1/4 the top cut every event, sure. Definitely, but they've got to get there, and I don't see them doing that. And with Sky Strikers still at full power, Goki's about to get another Warrior Extender that replaces all their old problems, that just summons it from the deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. And then you have, what else do we have running around? We got Trickstars, we have Alter guys, like, basically topping at the same level as them right now. BA is running from behind more so than at their pace. Paleo is running from behind, too. Those decks top less than Thunder Dragons. There's another third big deck I'm forgetting. There's Danger Dark Warrior, there's Sky Striker, and then Goki. So there's like 2 Warrior decks running around. And 6 Samurai could become the new, more consistent Rongo Turbo, depending. Especially on that 6 Samurai link.
Pending Sword release in Europe, of course.
Someone close the gate. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my god. Also,
no, open the gate.
Also, John, Connector's more of a starter than an extender because you have to use it.
Yeah, I'm aware it's a starter, but it's still an it starts them out with the bang and hits the hand.
I mean, we still have.
That's the only way.
Yeah, and it comes out in Savage Strike, which drops February 1st, which
also gives us a new negate synchro on board. The Boral Savage Dragon's coming.
Ooh, Boral Savage.
Borreload Savage, the Negator.
It's gonna be Boral Sword.
So excited. That card's artwork is beautiful, you guys.
God, Dragon.
That's a beautiful card.
It really is.
Yo, gentlemen.
If I can say one thing about Savage real quick, I like Savage. I'm not going to say anything really from this. What I'm about to say about Savage isn't really from gameplay. I like Savage's idea the most of any other card that they've released in a long time because it aims to meld 2 mechanics.
Oh yeah, cup of coffee in the morning. Macho Man, old Boral Savage.
Pendulum Exceeds, Pendulum Synchros, Pendulum Fusions.
That's because Pendulum is Pendulum. Pendulum.
And
just kinda
before
does its
Link
own
Pendulum card, and Triff just like loses it.
Wait,
Jokes on him.
Wait, what about the?
It's a matter of time.
Wait,
All right,
what about-
guys, we're gonna round out
I
this
got two
discussion. Thank you so much, everybody. The rest of it's gonna have to be in the comment sections down below. I appreciate everybody who came into open chat for this one. I think we've covered a lot. Is there any last minute talk over each other, whatever? Anything we missed?
Bye.
I have
I got
one
two
last thing to
cards.
say in relation to
Let
Call.
me finish.
Go ahead.
Out of nowhere.
All right, bad manners. We're ending on that.